Sam, the Frugal Hugel Gardener. This morning I'm going to do a video on separating and propagating bamboo in the summer. Wow, if you look that up online, you're going to see everything, and every post says do not separate and plant or replant bamboo in the summer. And there's a reason for it, and we're going to dive down into it. Okay, so right over here I have some bamboo in back of me that I went ahead and divided, separated, put into pots yesterday. And we're at the end of July, beginning of August, extremely hot weather out, and yet I did it. And I also went ahead and planted one in the ground where I needed it. Okay, so why am I doing this? In the fall, in almost spring, it was March in Florida. Okay, well, you're supposed to separate bamboo in the spring when it's cool out and your plants are dormant. Okay, I'll grant you that. That's a good idea. However, this video is on, can you separate bamboo, propagate it in the middle of summer? Well, I went ahead and separated probably 40 or 50 bamboo plants in March when they were supposed to be dormant. But I'm in Florida, and we had a mild winter. And what I noticed was my bamboo, even in March, was shooting out shoots. They never really went dormant. But I went ahead and separated them, and I planted them all around the property. Some took and grew, and some did not take and grow. And I'll tell you why. When I separated in March, it was dry. Then April come along with the sun and the heat. May, June, we had 3 months, and even July, with no rain. We had high heat and a drought. Well, I have a large acreage property, and you cannot take the hose and go all over and water each and every plant every day or even every other day, because it would take you half the day and you'd be so sweaty and tired that you just don't want to do it. So I do it the natural way. I go ahead and plant, and I let nature take its course, and they grow. Okay, well, I'm going to show you in a little bit. The ones over here by my covert in the front all took, and they're shooting out new bamboo shoots all over the place now. You gotta love that. But right over next to it, I planted some bamboo, and with the dry spell, they dried out. Doesn't look like they're gonna take. In the backyard, some of them took and some of them did not take. So I contribute that to the drought because it was dry. When you separate and propagate bamboo, you want to go ahead and water them, well-drained soil, but water them every single day. Okay, so that leads us until now, because I followed the norm and I separated a bunch of them, and the videos are down below, and planted them all around my property. Some lived, some did not live. We had a drought. They were starving for water in some areas of the property. Some areas retain the water better than others, and they all lived. So we're in the middle, or we're in the end of July right now, beginning of August, within a couple days right now. And I went ahead and separated some, because the one that I planted right over here by this canoe, because I'm doing landscaping, it did not look like it was going to make it. It's still in the ground, but I planted another one a little bit away from it because that's where I want it to be. And it's doing fine. And it's going to continue to do fine because I'm going to water it every single day because I have the hose right there. So the hose is there. This is real close. I could do that. I landscaped over here, and all these other plants, loquat trees, banana plants, and other plants in the GNU over here, they need water all the time too. So that's why I'm putting them right here by the hose, and that's why I'm leaving these in pots by the hose. And I'm gonna have other potted plants here so I can water them in one spot, and then when they get rooted, I could go ahead and transplant them somewhere else. So I'm going to take you around and show you where I separate them, why I separated them, why one's in the ground, and then I potted some. All right, but this is not a video where I'm going to actually be doing the separating. If you want to see those, just in my little search, just click on it and look at my videos, and you'll see me separating and propagating bamboo all over the yard and in pots. I've done those videos. I may even put a little clip in this video so you can see it, but this is a video on, can you separate bamboo in the middle of the summer when it's hot out? And I say yes. I know it's controversial, and I'm a controversial gardener. I garden my whole edible property. Most of the stuff I do work out great, and they survive and they live. There's a few things every now and then, the root's too short or something, they don't live. And in this case, some of the bamboo lives, some of it didn't live. But if we did not have a drought, they would have all lived. So what I see when you do a search for, can you separate bamboo in the summer, everything says no, but then they go on and talk about the roots have to be moist, they have to have water and all that. Okay, I agree with that. I proved it already, but even following the instructions that everybody posts, even the articles, do it when they're dormant. Well, if they don't go dormant, they're never dormant. So you still got to do it. And there's a reason why you want to do it when it's dormant, because you don't want to separate any growing shoots coming out. So my way around it is, you see a shoot coming out, don't separate that. Separate the nice solid older part of the bamboo. Wow, no brainer, problem solved. And then once you separate it, keep them moist, whether you pot them or whether they're in the ground. If you order bamboo online and get them in pots, you're still going to have to keep them moist and water them. So, I said, well, I need the bamboo now. I don't want to wait all the way till March again, although I am, because I have a lot of bamboo, and in March, I'm going to separate more and plant them. However, right here, right now, beginning of August, I planted one in the ground. I have some other ones here. This is a test, but I'm going to get the jump on it. So we're in August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months that will have rooted and be shooting out new growth, and I don't have to wait. That's the way I think. And if you want to watch this video, I'm going to show you what I done. So let's go. Okay, so right over here on this side, you can see I went ahead and weed-eat it, got the weeds out. This is sea breeze bamboo. See how full it is? Well, you can't see what's behind it because this is a privacy bamboo. And as you can see, look how small that base is. It's a clumping bamboo. Real tight down there. That's about 2.5 foot wide. And it does have new shoots coming up. And if you look up, it's got good mature bamboo. and it's got new shoots coming out. Okay, so wherever you see a new shoot here, or up there, or anywhere around like those, you see there's one here, there, and then when you look up, there's more. Don't separate those. But if you look down here, this is where I separate it. Okay, from here to there, and I separated this off right here. They were all nice solid bamboo. Okay, so you follow that. Don't separate the new shoots because they're immature at the moment and they're growing. Where you have the older solid bamboo, you could separate those. So that's what I did. Okay, let's go back over there. Okay, so what I did is I got a pot, I got sand, and all of this is composted chips, and I also got horse manure, and I took it over there. Okay, I'll show you this one in a second. But first, we're going to go over there. Now, this bamboo, I did that in March. These bamboo were in March. These bamboo were in March. Okay, these were planted in March. You can see they're dried out. That was March. That was March. And this one was in March. For some reason, it's a little drier there. Now, if you look over here, this whole row, this was planted in March, and it shot out leaves. And now it's shooting out a new shoot. Just about all of them right here, they have leaves. And they're shooting out a shoot. Now the ones with the leaves like this, you can see where I went ahead and cut it and planted it. But they're shooting out new growth right now. See the new growth? Right here. Here's the one I cut. It shot out leaves, and now you can see the new shoots. Well, all of these going down, if you look closely, you can see the new shoots coming out. Okay, well, those were separated and planted in March. We had a drought, but this area by the culvert was more moist than the other areas, and that's why they're doing so well. So let's go back over there. Okay, so we're back over here. So when I separated them, I brought them over here, and they were about, 10, 15 foot tall. So what I done was, I cut the top half off. You see all the leaves here? Okay, so I cut the top half off, and I went ahead and tossed it because I don't need it. There's not enough root to support the whole plant. Now, you see this big leaf here? I cut off the big leaves and just left some of the smaller ones all the way down this one here. See, all these are the smaller ones left. That way they could go ahead and absorb the sun, water, and all that and live. And I potted them. And the one over there, I planted. So I have it over here because it's close to the hose, and I could water these just as I'm watering my other plants. And you see I have fence around them because the deer will eat the leaves and scrape the bark off the plant. So I have to put deer fencing around everything. So I have the worst of two evils. Hot, heat, drought, and deer will destroy my plants. So they're over here and I'm keeping them moist. And over there, I just showed you, I got sand, I got composted chips, and manure. And I mixed it up, and I went ahead and put it in the nursery pots. And then I put some of the chips on top to keep the moisture in. Now this one here and that one here, there's nothing in it, right? But down below, there's a piece of bamboo root that I put in there, and I put in there, and those bamboo roots should grow. I will know in a couple months if they're going to start shooting out new growth. But I wanted to save them, and I wanted to put them in there since they came off with these. Okay, so I feel that the main thing to watch for when you're propagating and separating bamboo in the hot summer, for one, is the plant. When you remove it, you don't want those roots to dry out, so put all that compost all the way back around and pack it down and water it in, or let the rain water it in if there's some rain. And then immediately, don't leave the freshly cut ones in the sun where the root's going to dry out. Bring it to where you're going to do, like I brought it here and I got my hose and I wet it down, and immediately I went ahead and potted them and planted them, and I saturated them with water and let the water percolate and soak down to moisten all of the compost. So these roots and the one I planted are going to stay moist. They're not going to be wet. They're going to stay moist because it drains. You want well drained. You don't want to put that root in standing water. So let me show you this one. Okay, I left that one there just to see if it does shoot anything up, but I doubt it. But this one over here, you can see where I cut off the larger branches, and then I topped it off because there's not enough root to support the whole plant. Now I dug a hole and I put the same thing. I put sand, composted chips, and horse manure in there, so it's got plenty of nutrients. And now it's got leaves for the energy and to absorb the morning dew if there's no rain, and the rain. So now I'm just going to go ahead and watch this and keep it watered. Now I always put a little mound around, so when I water it, water's percolating down, and when the water builds up, that's when I'm done, and I let it percolate down. So anyway, this is the landscaping that I'm doing right here. I went ahead and made a nice mound. I put my ginu there. These plants grow all over the place. So I'm going to put sand in there and let them take over that whole gnu. I don't have the sand in there yet, but I'm going to do it. But these are in pots. And now I have a loquat tree, a banana plant, loquat tree, banana plant, loquat tree, banana plant, loquat tree. And there's another loquat tree. So I went ahead and did this for now, so it looks good. And I put banana plants that are in pots over here because they're not going to grow really big and they're not going to produce bananas. Those are really aesthetically just for looks for now. But I want that bamboo, and that bamboo over there to grow to give me some privacy. And then on the other side of this, where it goes out and around, over here, you notice it goes out and around. I got a bench that goes right here, so you could overlook the pond. And there's going to be a fire pit, so I could sit down, have the fire pit going in the winter, and enjoy my pond. Now, This pond, I got videos below. I dug this out with my tractor. And I utilized all of the fill around the property. And that's even where you see over here that I filled in. And I left grass grow in all the way around it because the roots of the grass keeps it from washing down. And it's a good steep bank all the way around because I'm going to stock it with koi. So this is my koi pond, although there's frogs and other fish in here because birds bring them over. And I planted lily pads and cattails. Some of the cattails are looking okay that are in the shallow side section, and the ones that are in the deeper water, I don't know if they're going to live, as you can see down there. But the lily pads are doing good. And you can see right there, I got a lily pad flower coming in. I don't know if you can see that white one, but so I got lily pads and lily pad flowers all the way around. So the frogs can enjoy them and the fish could have shade in there. Although my banana plants over there and over there, you can see the reflection in the water. It gives shade. So in the morning they got shade there, in the evening they got shade here. So this is a really good pond environment. Now all this water in here is my water table. So relatively it never goes dry. I had to pump it out the deeper I got so I could square it off. The videos are down below. I went ahead and dug through the hard pan, so the bottom of this is real nice and sandy right now and level from side to side. So as you can see, this area right here, I made it so it goes out just as that is a round island with a little cul-de-sac there and over there for water. And right over here, I pot plants and I can water them. And I'm working on my landscape. And I think it looks good. This is going to fill in with grass. And there'll be more plants. I'll have the bamboo for privacy. Aesthetically, this is just landscaping. But let's get back to the bamboo. So I put these in pots. They're where I can water them. And if you look, going all the way up, you can see where I topped it. And I cut off the tall branches. Same thing over here. I cut off the branches right here. The big ones. And I topped them. Okay. I don't think there's anything that I left out. But we're open for discussion below if you care to talk about it. I have a lot of bamboo around, so I could do this now in the summer. As long as I keep them moist, it's not going to matter. I'm hoping it's in this growth stage, which they are, because I want the roots to start to form. I want the green to soak in the energy, and I want this to grow. But really, I just want the root ball to grow. Once that root ball gets really nice, I could go ahead and transplant these. If I had time, I would go ahead and separate more, which I'm going to. It's just I did not do it yesterday, but it's on my to-do list. I'm going to separate more. So in a few months, I'll probably have about a dozen that I could go ahead and plant where some of them did not take. Now I could take you down the back and you would see there that some of them took nice, like the ones in the front, and some of them did not take. We've been in a really high temperature drought. The temp's been in the upper 90s, and with the heat index, it's like 110, so it's really hot. So these could dry out real easily, just as some of the ones in the ground did. So if you're gonna do this in the middle of the summer, don't let the sun hit the roots when you separate them. I mean, instantly when you take them out, put them in the shade, put water on them, and then pot them, because you don't want to wait till the next day and have them dry out. That would hurt them. So if you do it right away, you just separate them, put the compost on the plants you separate them from to protect them from the sun, moist those, wet them, and the same thing over here. Get them in the pots, wet them, have your hose handy, and you could go ahead and wet these and water them every day, every other day. It depends on how the soil feels and if you're having any rain. And remember, when it rains, that might just put a little bit of water in that pot. So you still got to come out and water it, fill that pot up, let it soak down, because just a little bit of rain isn't really going to soak down into the pot and get it wet and moist, going all the way through that whole soil. So anyway, hey, I hope you enjoyed my video on I go against the grain. I went ahead and separated it and transplanted it in the ground and in the pot, bamboo, in the middle of a heat wave, in the middle of the summer. Hey, what could I say? So, if you enjoyed the video, give me a like, give me a share, subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned and you'll see the progress of these and the one in the ground, the ones in the front, and the other ones I have all the way around the property. Now these are sea breeze. They put out bushy leaves like you just seen back there. They are great for a hedgerow. They're a really good thick wall bamboo. You cannot break them. And they're clumping so they don't shoot all over the place. Some bamboo look pretty on the outside, but when you cut them, they're real thin on the inside. I don't have any of those. I just have sea breeze and silver stripe, because I could cut them at the base when they're mature, and I could use them to support my banana racks on my banana plant, and I'm growing them for that reason. But also, that hedgerow in the front is for privacy, and the whole hedgerow in the back is for privacy, so you don't have to look at the road and you don't have to look at the farm in the back, that type of thing. Hope to see you soon.